Hello vegan adventurers, welcome to another vlog from Chile. So today we're finally gonna see the penguins at Isla Magdalena. So we are waiting here again at the pier, but this time they told us that the trip is happening, but the boat is like half an hour late. So the wind is not so bad and we should be sailing soon. So here we are boarding on the boat. It's a pretty big boat, but there are also a lot of people going. So you can see that so many people care about seeing the penguins, but they don't care about other animals which they eat for lunch. Such a hypocrisy. So now the boat took off and it should take around 1 hour and a half to reach the Isla Magdalena. So if you're bored just sitting on the seat, you can also get out on the deck and enjoy the view of the peninsula and the ocean. So here in the distance you can already see the Isla Magdalena on the right, and there far away you can see the Tierra del Fuego, which you can connect to Argentina, and here is another Arctic peninsula. As we are getting closer, this island seems actually pretty small, and there are no trees on there, nothing. It's just penguins who are nesting there. So as we're getting closer, people are already starting to wait in the line. So we're getting in the line as well because we thought that penguins might run away. So if you come first, you might see more penguins, which is not gonna be the case. They're gonna be literally everywhere, and it reminded me the disembarkment in Normandy during the Second World War. So as soon as the gate on the boat opened, you could see some penguins, and some of them are literally right in front of the boat. So as soon as we got out of the boat, we were stuck in the line of people. Basically you have to walk only on one path, so that's not the case as we thought that you can walk around the whole island and see the penguins. there is only a designated part where you can go, which is separated from the penguins with the rope. And even if the penguins get on the path, you have to keep like a distance from them and wait until they cross. So this is the second time we saw wild penguins. First time was in Galapagos on Isabella Island, and these ones are a little bit bigger than the ones in Galapagos. And there's also so many of them here. It's like the whole colony, and there are also these babies here. So it's really spectacular to see that. So it was fascinating to see these penguins living on this bare land where other animals would not survive, but these penguins are thriving here, mostly because they're just living basically on fish and use this land to build their holes as their homes. So it happened many times when I wanted to record something that there are just people standing in the way, just because there just take so many people at once. But I guess that's the best way how they cannot interfere with these penguins' lives here. And the path is like on purpose, because if people are just walking everywhere, they would destroy their eggs and they would just get too close to them, and the penguins would feel uncomfortable. So these penguins don't really have any predators on the land. They maybe have sharks as predators in the sea, but that's why they're not really scared of humans and are often really close to them. Another interesting thing about penguins is how they stay warm during the cold weather. So you can see people here are wearing the winter jackets even though it's summertime here. But even in the summer the temperatures stay below 15 degrees Celsius, and I think on this day it was like around 5 degrees Celsius. So all year long it's cold, but the penguins stay warm thanks to their thick skin and feathers. So now I'll tell you some facts about penguins throughout this video. So fact number 1, almost all species of penguins live exclusively in southern hemisphere, except of Galapagos penguin, which lives in northern hemisphere. The tallest penguin is the emperor penguin, which is about 4 feet tall or 120 centimeters, and the smallest is a small blue penguin, which is about 16 inches or 40 centimeters. Penguins are very fast swimmers, and the fastest penguin can swim up to 22 miles per hour or 35 kilometers per hour. Found fossils of relatives of penguins dated 60 million years ago, which means they survived the dinosaur extinction and are ancestors of today's birds. Despite not having visible ears, penguins have excellent hearing and can identify their mate's call when coming into the crowded area. In some species, it is the males that incubate the eggs, while the females go out to the sea to hunt for fish. And also, most penguin species will return to the same nesting site which they were born in.
Almost all species of penguins breed in the spring or summer, except of emperor penguin that breed in winter.
So after about half an hour of walking from the boat, we got up to this little hill with a lighthouse on top, and you can see a nice view of the island and all the penguin colonies.
And when you enter the lighthouse, you have all this information about the penguins, island, and other sea creatures.
Everything you said they already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
All species of penguins lay 2 eggs and they build nests for incubating them, while emperor penguins only lay 1 egg, which they incubate on their feet. The egg incubation varies for different species, from 1 month up to 67 days for emperor penguin, and for this Magellan penguin,
They normally put 2 eggs in their nests. Incubation is from 40 to 42 days when both male and female are shifting on regular periods of same hours.
penguins can see much better underwater than they can see on the land. ingest lots of seawater while hunting for fish, but they have a special gland behind their eyes which filters the seawater, and then they excrete it with their beaks or by sneezing. Many species of penguins will mate with the same partner each mating season. And both parents, male and female, would care for the young ones until they're strong enough to hunt for themselves. When getting in the water, penguins always jump, so they release some air from the feathers, which makes them swim much faster. Penguins can dive in over 800 feet, which is about 240 meters. I don't know why Americans using feet still, when the rest of the world are using meters. And the longest dive was emperor's penguin, which dived around 1,800 feet, which is about 540 meters. And the longest recorded dive was also about 22 minutes long. So the penguin skin is used as a camouflage when they're swimming in the water. So when you look from up to down, their dark skin is really hard to see and blending in with the sea depth. And similarly, when you look from down to up, it's blending it with the sky, the white belly. And they use it to mask themselves against predators like leopard seals, or similarly, the fish they want to catch is not going to be able to see them. And when baby chick of an emperor penguin dies, the mother will try to steal the chick from another mother. And recent discoveries of penguin skeletons show that penguins used to be much bigger and taller. They're reaching up to 5 to 10 feet, which is bigger than today's humans. So imagine penguins as tall as humans. It would be pretty amazing. Penguins don't have teeth, and when they catch fish, they just swallow it and move their head upright to help them digest it. Penguins go once a year under what's called a catastrophic molt, where they lose all their feathers during 2 to 3 weeks period, and they can't go into the sea, and they just have to wait until they grow new feathers. It's funny how humans call other animals primitive, and when it comes to penguins, the females who go away each season and come back to the colony, they can recognize the males they're mating from last year within minutes. Just imagine during the breeding time there's like thousands of penguins in one place and everybody is trying to look for their partner with their distinctive calls, and now try to imagine hearing that one voice that you have to remember. Incredible. Penguins take care of their feathers for several hours a day, and they have a special gland near their tail where they produce oil, and they cover their feathers to make them waterproof. And they spend about 50% of their life in the sea. Unlike other birds, they have hollow bones, which makes it easy for them to fly. The penguins have dense bones, which makes it easier for them to dive. Penguins feel much safer on the land because they have no predators here except of humans, but in the water they have many more predators like seals, sea lions, sharks and whales. So penguins got their name from resemblance to the now extinct Canadian auk. That was a bird that looked like a penguin, and its scientific name was Penguinus impennis.
Everything you said they already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something.
Some types of penguins, like emperor penguins, use group huddling to create warmth, which is pretty much they squeeze themselves into a group, and actually the penguins who are in the middle get too hot sometimes, even in -degrees Celsius, and then they have to change with the ones on the outside. Some types of penguins, they live in icy regions, use the ice as a slide or toboggan to get in the water faster. And when babies are born, they are born with the fluffy feathers, and the waterproof feathers grow later on. Emperor penguins are the only species of penguins that spend the harsh Antarctic winters on the land, and it's only the males to protect the eggs.
So this is thanks to their concentration of feathers, which is the highest among any birds. It's up to 100 feathers per 1 square inch. So apart from Antarctica and sub-Antarctic regions of Chile and Argentina, penguins are also found in Peru, Galapagos, South Africa, Australia and New Zealand. And in some of these areas like Australia, New Zealand, South Africa and Galapagos, the penguins can get too hot, so they have larger flippers to excrete the heat and also less feathers on their face. Scientists are using high-resolution satellite imagery to count the penguins, which they're using in inaccessible areas, and they can differentiate between penguins, penguins' poop, shadows and ice. The erect-crested penguin lost about 70% of its population in last 20 years, and the Galapagos penguin lost about 50%, and it's a 30% chance of getting extinct in the next century. And who would have thought that human activity has the biggest impact on penguin population decline? So some of these are human pollution, loss of habitat because of human settlements, commercial fishing, oil dumping, and climate change, which is also caused by humans. Generally, penguins are not sexually dimorphic, meaning males and females look the same. Magellanic penguins, which are these ones, are named after Ferdinand Magellan, who was sailing around the world in 1520. Oil spills kill approximately 20,000 adult Magellanic penguins and 22,000 juvenile Magellanic penguins off the coast of Argentina each year.
Penguins are sometimes swallowing rocks, which scientists believe help them with digestion and also helps them to dive easier. A large penguin can eat up to 30 fish per one dive. Penguins are social birds, and even in the sea they are hunting in groups, and the largest colonies in Antarctica often have more than 20 million penguins. Different species of penguins have different ways of attracting females. So king penguins sing long songs, while gentle penguins bring females small gifts like stones. Larger penguins like king and emperor penguins are usually found more south in Antarctica, while smaller penguins are usually found more in warmer climates. Humans exploited penguins as other animals before, and they used them for the meat, skin, oil, and even for their poop as a fertilizer, which turns out to be bad because penguins use it as a nesting.
Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. Two of those special
And the penguin typically lives from 15 to 20 years. Alright, so we are leaving Isla Magdalena now after about 1 hour walking to the island and observing the penguins. It was a great experience seeing the penguins in the wild. However, it felt a bit restricted, but I guess that's the measures you have to take when there's so many people here, and some people would steal their eggs or something like that, would disturb them, try to pet them, who knows. And like this it's more controlled, but at times it felt like a zoo, and also at times you couldn't get a clear picture of the penguins because people were walking through. However, we all learned something new from this video and different facts about penguins, which are really fascinating birds. And did you know that male emperor penguin is the longest fasting bird? It means it doesn't eat anything for 115 days while it's incubating its eggs. Penguins can propel themselves up to 2 meters above the water, which they use to take a quick breath when swimming fast. Only two species of penguins living in Antarctica, the Adelaide penguin and emperor penguin, and most of the other species live along the coast of South America or New Zealand. And also the Adelaide and emperor penguins in Antarctica, they live in larger numbers than other species living up north. Alright guys, we are almost at Punta Arenas and it was a really amazing day observing the wild penguins. It reminded us of Galapagos where we observed other wild animals, and it's a really special moment to be able to see them, and it shows the importance of preserving their natural habitat because the population of wild animals is on decline thanks to humans. So today was our last day in Punta Arenas, and tomorrow we're flying over to Puerto Williams, which is on Isla Navarino Island, which also belongs to Chile, and there should be more amazing hikes and mountains. Initially we wanted to go from Punta Arenas to Puerto Natales to hike the Torres del Paine circuit, but we're reading that it's really complicated, that you have to book your campsite in advance and pay up to $100 a night. So would I recommend to come to Punta Arenas? Probably not, unless you want to see the penguins, but you can also see them in Ushuaia, which is much more interesting place for hiking and adventures. So stay tuned for our grand final of our adventures in Chile, in Puerto Williams, and for now, stay healthy and stay adventurous.